Hey guys, Excoundrel AFK Journey here. Welcome to the channel, and I have got a big video for you today. We are going to be covering everything about the new season because there is quite a lot to learn about the season Song of Strife, and I think it's really good if we kind of go through the basics. Now, the first things first, when you're logging in for the first time and getting into the new season, make sure you do your daily quests and claim all of your AFK rewards before you enter the new season. That reason is because as soon as you enter the new season, you'll be granted compensation for your daily rewards, and all of your AFK reward resets will also reset. It just makes a difference because once you've entered Song of Strife, you're in Song of Strife. So essentially, it is just worth noting that you should do those before you jump into Song of Strife, because it's just a little min-max thing that makes a difference. So I can't show you that because I jumped into Song of Strife a little while ago, but do your dailies and claim all your AFK rewards that you want to, like your instant AFK rewards, because those reset once you get into Song of Strife. Second thing to do is when you're in Song of Strife, do the campaign as far as you can get it, and then push your AFK levels as far as you can go. Then, at the end of the day, you should claim your AFK rewards, or at the point where you feel that you can't progress anymore in your AFK stages, and then you want to use the instant AFK rewards to essentially level up. The reason that we do this, especially at the start of the season, is because as you progress through the AFK stages, you're going to get access to more and more rewards. And essentially, you're also going to generate, well, obviously, as you go through AFK stages, the amount of gold, XP, and essence that you generate increases with your AFK stage level. So therefore, your instant AFK rewards are going to be more bountiful at the end of the day. It can be quite tempting to do it as soon as you log on, but especially at the start of the season, it is more beneficial to do it at the end of the day once you have progressed as far as you can. And that is the same for also when we talk about the Dream Realm bosses. So with the Dream Realm bosses, it is honestly the best thing you can do is rank up as far as you can go and then do your Dream Realm attempts at the end of the day, because your team will be the strongest at the end of the day. So you log in the morning, maybe do some dailies, get some stuff done, progress as far as you want to, come back in the evening before reset. That's when you claim your instant AFK rewards, and then you should also go into the Dream Realm at that point to essentially jump in and get as high ranking on the Dream Realm as you physically can. So that's worth noting, and also should be something that you pay attention to. Dream Realm, by the way, you'll have your normal Dream Realm, but then you will unlock Seasonal Dream Realm once you've progressed throughout I think it's through some of the AFK stages, you'll unlock Seasonal Dream Realm. So AFK stages are an absolute must. As with the start of the game, when you first joined the game in AFK Journey, these were really important for your progression. You should do the same thing with the season. Right, so in terms of what else that you need to do, if you're going to spend, and this is just a little tip, if you're going to spend and you don't want to spend on anything too crazy, the two best things you can do is the growth bundle, because it's got such high value. This is not counting the Asperia monthly, by the way. And then also the travel log. Those two things are going to get you the most rewards for the lowest amount of input. So if you're going to spend at all, definitely spend on those two things. Now, there are lots of new things that have come to Season of Strife. Obviously, we have a new world map to work with, which you can see I've got through the Ashen Wastes. I'm now just going into the Eroded Enclave, which I should be able to get through with relative ease. I just need to push myself a little harder. I could probably clear out these three at this point in time, but you need to get through this. There's loads of really new things to go for. The two new big kind of mini games are like the Iron Jaw, where you kind of stand in front of the monster to make it charge at you. It's pretty self-explanatory. And there's also the little hamster treasure hunting thing, which is a little bit like archaeology in World of Warcraft, where you just place down these things. It tells you kind of which direction the treasure's in, and you have to get as close to the treasure as possible, and then you'll eventually uncover it. It's basically just a very elaborate way to get a normal chest. The other thing is that the puzzles, which you may have noticed, and I'm actually really happy about this, the puzzles in Song of Strife, so those rolling ball puzzles, or those light up platform puzzles, Those are significantly harder now. They're not impossible, and most people should be able to solve them with relative ease, but there are a few that have actually had to make me think, which is different from the main storyline from the base game, which honestly every single puzzle I did was a complete waste of time in terms of using my brain. So there are actually some really cool puzzles on the world map. But when it comes to new things that you need to be aware of, when you enter the season, all of your heroes will be reset back to level 1. You still will keep your resonance synergy, which you can see here. You will still keep your resonance synergy, and you should still continue to level that up because that will impact your overall power as well. But all of your heroes will have a new seasonal resonance level, which goes again from 1 all the way up. I think it goes even higher. I don't know where the seasonal resonance level caps out, but I know it's if you have a look at some of the skills, which I'll talk about in a moment, if you have a look at the seasonal skills, it will go all the way up to 401. So the seasonal resonance level right now will go higher than your base resonance level from what we can see. Now, there is a new form of XP for the season, and there is a new form of essence. So you have a seasonal essence and a seasonal XP. The way that you level up your heroes is exactly the same way that it was in the regular game. It costs XP and gold, and at every 10 level barrier, it has a essence cost, which increases the higher level that you go. The gold, however, is shared. So the gold is shared between your regular gold pool and the seasonal gold pool. So gold is no different. The big changes to the actual heroes are 2 major things. Heroes will eventually get access to a seasonal skill, and they'll also get access to magic charms. Now, magic charms will be coming a little bit further down the line. Most people will not get access to magic charms anytime soon, but the one that you should get access to within the first week or so is the seasonal skill. I've done a video on every single seasonal skill for every single hero if you want to go and check it out, which I'll just link above. But ultimately, at level 51, you will unlock a seasonal skill, which will essentially give every hero another unique addition. Now, these seasonal skills are not bespoke for every hero. There's a lot of heroes that have the same kind of seasonal skills, but essentially they do kind of change the way that the hero impacts the fight. So for instance, with Iron, after casting his ultimate, deals 125 damage to the current target with each of the next 4 skills or normal attacks, which is great for his kit because if you have him at Mythic Plus, he casts his ultimate instantaneously. So everyone will get access to a seasonal skill. This seasonal skill is designed to make them better, for the most part, at what they already do. There are a few seasonal skills that really do potentially make a hero more viable. One of the ones that I'm looking at right now is Satrana. Satrana has a seasonal skill that increases the magic damage taken by adjacent enemies up to 13%. So potentially, she's one of the only heroes in the game that has got this. So potentially she's, good in a situation where we want to do extra magic damage. As well as having those new additions to the heroes, we also have seasonal artifacts. There are, if you switch here, you'll see your regular artifacts that are capped out at level 10. We also have our seasonal artifacts, which go up to level 20. And there are 8 of them. You will not unlock all of them quickly. Some of them are later into the into the storyline or into the growth path, but you'll unlock either most of these through the story or through the growth path. These can go up to level 20, and they are designed to be used over the originals. So at the level 10 mark, they are exactly the same in terms of the power they provide, but as soon as you get them to level 11 plus, that is when you're going to start noticing that the seasonal artifacts become that much more impactful. The seasonal artifacts are also much more specialized and actually can help you depending on the comp that you're running. So for instance, I've also done a video on seasonal artifacts. Please go and watch that if you're interested in it. I'm not going to go into this into too much detail because I've done a whole other video on it. But essentially, like, Quick Blade spell is great for Dream Realm bosses, and it's essentially better than Star Shard spell for the most part, right? So you're going to get access to new artifacts, and you will use these throughout the course of your season. They will become the used ones, especially post level 10. You will not have any need for your original artifacts because they will just become inferior. You will also have seasonal equipment. So that equipment grind that you thought you maxed out, you've got to do it again. And I'm assuming this will go to a higher max level as well. So you'll probably be grinding seasonal equipment for quite some time. Unfortunately, we do also have the chests that are locked behind resonance level. So you're going to have to kind of get to certain resonance levels to unlock chests as you get through the course of the game. But you can still forge. So for instance, I need to do a little bit of forging here. You can still forge for the gold that you've got. And it basically works in exactly the same way as the previous one. There is just new forging materials. So that's the only thing that you need to be aware of. Your old forging materials will not have an impact here. So it's best when you get to max level on your non-seasonal equipment, you basically recycle all of the equipment forging materials for gold, because that gold's going to be useful in the season. That's the bulk of the new stuff around the Resonating Hall. The new heroes, new artifacts, and new equipment. So everything gets reset. You're essentially grinding out. But you might think, and this is the most important part, right? You might think, oh, okay, so now it's reset. Are my heroes now just weaker? No. Your heroes are going to get significantly stronger. Your seasonal heroes will exponentially increase in power. Before the season, I was 24 million power. I'm now 85 million power, and I'm not exactly a whale. I'm a dolphin, so I spend a bit of money, but I'm nowhere near the top of my server. So you are going to exponentially increase in power. And what does that mean? That means things that you were previously unable to do, and this is really important. I'm going to timestamp this. Things that you were previously unable to do, specifically like the Tower of Light, for instance, so the non-seasonal towers, the Legend Trials, the non-seasonal Dream Realm stuff, and then also Trials of Abyss, so specifically Trials of Abyss. Those things are going to become significantly easier. So I was struggling, and I'll show you my rank at the moment. I'm rank 10 at the moment, but I was rank 5 earlier, which just shows you how quickly people are climbing through these ranks, right? I was previously struggling, as you saw on my YouTube, at floor 305. I could barely do it, right? Now, so I was able to go from floor 303 to 355 on auto battle, having leveled up some of my characters quite well on the new season. So I have kind of gone back to hitting a bit of a roadblock, which is why I'm using this OD comp. You might wonder why I'm using this OD comp, but this is the reason I'm using this OD comp. I have to try and hit the right target. I'll try and hit the healer first. So yeah, like ultimately it's been pretty good. We'll see if we can get through this. Because otherwise I'm going to struggle. But you know, I'm not having too much trouble getting through these levels. This would have taken me like 16 billion tries usually to get through this level. Still looks like it might take me quite a few tries, but nonetheless, we'll see how we go. Come on, Antandra, you can do it. Just need to get oh, there we go. Antandra's popping. This literally took me like one try with this comp. It would usually have taken me multiple tries hoping for the right RNG. So essentially, it does just become a lot easier to ascend the tower. I might even be able to just do it with my sort of AFK comp that I was using before, which was this one. So we'll go back to using our Iron comp with Asa, Alsa, and then not Rowan, Damien, and then Arden. Once I get Arden and Damien to Supreme Plus, this will be much better. But yeah, I was essentially able to just do this for pretty much 90% of the floors. Obviously, it's become a little harder now because I've kind of ascended very high again. But as I ascend on seasonal levels, like this is so much easier. This is like basically AFK. I've lost Alsa, but she's already done the majority of the damage here. So I could probably just AFK my way through a load more of these Trial of Abyss stages. Like my Iron's popping off, dude. He's going crazy. And this is what you just need to be aware of, that don't neglect the sort of the Trial of Abyss and things that were there before the season, because the season massively increases your power level. Really, really increases your power level. I mean, look, it's even telling me I'm 69,000 power level compared to 2,900. I should be absolutely flattening these guys, which is technically not the case. But it is much easier to basically sit here and do nothing in Trial of Abyss than it was previously. And that is because the seasonal power level is significantly harder. What I would say is that I think you're seeing the problems with Alsa in action here, which is the fact that she just jumps into the fight and gets herself blown up. I might try. It's probably actually because I need to put Alsa. I usually put Alsa on the Thorin attach. But yeah, I mean, essentially, I've been able to climb Trial of Abyss with absolute ease compared to the way it was previously, which is which is crazy. Yeah, much easier when Alsa doesn't die. Actually, to be fair, she wasn't attached to Thorin. This is why you should attach your Carolina or Alsa to Thorin, because essentially it means that they take less damage. Thorin will tank the damage for you. Only becomes an issue, obviously, if Thorin dies multiple times very quickly, but in this case, it's pretty easy. I'm going to stop it there, though. I think I've proven my point. This was previously extremely hard, has now become significantly easier to do, and you see that most people will shoot up the rankings in terms of the Trials of Abyss level because of how good the seasonal resonance level empowers your team. That was a terrible English sentence, but there you go. So we've talked about the seasonal changes. We've talked about pushing your AFK stages. We've talked about Dream Realm. Dream Realm has introduced 2 new bosses, by the way. You'll see here we have Alpha Bear. We have Unknown Nightmare, Unknown Nightmare. We have Lone Gaze. So there looks like there's 2 new. I assume this one's going to be, that looks like the Eye, the Skyclops, and that looks like Necrodracon. So I assume that they are the same as they were previously, but they just say Unknown Nightmare right now for some reason. But it kind of looks like Skyclops and Necrodracon, but there you go. But Lone Gaze and Alpha Bear, which were the 2 primordial or the primal lords that were there before, have now become Dream Realm bosses. And they will now be added to the Dream Realm rotation. Today is Alpha Bear, and that is obviously introducing new strategies and is also obviously introducing new ways to go about tackling them. For instance, I've just lost my top 20 rankings, so I might show you the way that I'm now approaching the seasonal Alpha Bear bosses. So I'm going to just swap in something here. I want to have my highest damage dealers in, so I'm going to put Corin and Marily in. Go to Dream Realm, give it a go. As you can see here, this is my comp. We're using Valor in this case, but there is a world where Odie is also better. Odie does a lot of damage. So the only reason I'm using Valor is because I'm using Quick Blade, which is the new artifact, which decreases physical defense on the enemy boss. But I might try this again with Odie in just a moment. So essentially, 2 new bosses. You'll have seen these mechanics before if you've done the Primal Lord, but essentially they're adding more Dream Realm bosses to the rotation, which is pretty cool because it just opens up different strategies, makes certain heroes a bit better. But the heroes that were already good pre-season are good now. The seasonal skills have generally made these types of heroes better at what they do. So for instance, Marily and Corin and Odie all have the arcane damage thing. Is basically where you get an extra basic attack after 3 basic attacks, and essentially just obviously increases your damage output overall. But ultimately, as you're seeing, it's relatively straightforward, but we're just using some of the new artifacts, and in this case we're using the Quick Blade artifact, which is reducing the physical defense, kind of removing the need for us to run Kruger at all in this case. But you're just seeing that, we've got whole new rewards to get. So every new Dream Realm boss is going to have new rewards to get. As you see, I've just been able to beat my previous record. I might even just try this with Odie, actually, and see how we go. Marily is kind of a beast. I kind of want to see how much damage Marily did there, because I feel like she did absolutely loads. Let's give it a go. Am I back in top 20? I am back in top 20. There we go. 103 million on Marily. To be honest, Valor did nothing there. So what I might even do is have a go with Odie, because Odie, I think, will end up doing more damage than that. There is a reason, by the way, that I've linked Smokey to Thorin. It's because otherwise Smokey ends up dying. Obviously, Odie is primarily magic damage, but I think he'll end up doing a little bit more than Valor will, plus the fact that he applies poison, which just kind of stays there. So when Valor dies, that's her DPS done. But Odie actually does do a little bit of DPS once he's gone. So we'll see if we can beat our unbelievable damage totals, by the way, like 200 and something million, which I was hitting. We were getting nowhere near out of season, which is just kind of showing you the silly increase in damage that we're getting from our seasonal heroes. Odie is now down, poor little man, but we are hopefully still in with a running of beating our previous record. Now, obviously, for those of you that don't know, the Dream Realm boss gains an increase in physical defense and also other, I can't remember what else they changed. I think it was like vitality or something, but it basically gains an increase in defenses the further that you go into the fight. To see how we're going. Yeah, we have just beaten it with Odie. I don't know how far we're going to beat it. A few million, it looks like. We'll have a look at the results, but just showing you that there's kind of like new different strategies. I'm now ranked 20, so I actually got beaten already But Odie, like, look at the damage that Odie did in comparison to Valor. He basically doubled Valor's damage, but for some reason we didn't last as long, which is interesting. Crazy. If I feel like if we lasted a little bit longer, it would have been a different story. But we'll see if we can keep pushing that. I run out of chances, but you can just buy chances for a very meager amount of gold. But there you go. So that's a bit of an update on the Dream Realm. So what else is new? The Legend Trial. So there are new floors in Legend Trial. I'm currently floor 19 in Graveborn. We'll have to see if we can push that any further. So once you get into Legend Trial, you're just going to notice that there are you start from scratch on the Legend Trial. You'll find that you're kind of progressing at a similar rate to you were before. This Seth is absolutely ruining my day. I actually probably should. This is the point where I should switch out my artifacts here. This is again getting out of old habits. Star Shard. We need to switch out our artifacts to something different. So we got much magic damage here. Might try Stormcaller, or I might just go light heal spell because we've got Thorin and Neru, and they probably need it. So just getting in, using the new artifacts, getting to the habit of using the new artifacts. As that Thorin actually tanked a lot of damage there. That's kind of crazy. Thorin tanked a load of damage, as did Neru because of the new light healer spell. But this is Shakir and Seth, so it's this is going to be difficult, I think. Yeah, we're not going to get through this level. At least I'm not going to get through this level in this video. I'm probably going to have to retry and see how we go. Although I say that, Karina kind of going for it. Oh no, never mind. We're close. We'll try again at a later date. But just letting you see that there's a different Legend Tower to climb with new different rewards. They'll all be open tomorrow as well. There is something called the Supreme Arena as well. So your regular arena is still accessible, and in your regular arena, you are going to be using your original setup. So I've just annoyingly quit that. In your regular arena, you're going to be using your normal setup, so that won't change. You won't have access to any of the new artifacts. Your regular arena is all just normal, out of season stuff. Okay. The Supreme Arena, which by the way I love, you're going to notice it's full of bots to begin with. But in the Supreme Arena, I'm just having a look at what my power level is. 19 million. I reckon I can give this guy a go. Give this guy a run for his money. You have 3 stage battles, which is kind of interesting. And these 3 stage battles, I'm going to actually switch this out. So you've got 3 different arenas, as you can see here. You have to go through all of them. I'm just going to have a look. So this is not so squishy. This is not very squishy. This is really squishy. So I'm going to go for my standard Iron comp here. Probably going to run it with Carolina. We're going to run Arden and Damian. I'm going to run this spell here. Edit next. We have a new arena, so you can't actually get through these. These can only be attacked by people who can close gaps or by ranged heroes. But obviously this becomes relatively easily targetable. I'm wondering whether this is the one for an OD comp potentially. There is an Arden over there, so maybe we run this, and then we run like this, go for Lucius, and also maybe Antandra, like a double comp. Yeah, double tank comp with this, and maybe we go for a light heal spell. We could still go for a confining spell in this regard because, again, not every one of these is better for every situation, and they're also not significantly far above in levels. We could also go for an Iron Wall spell, actually, which actually might work because we're running a double tank comp, and this Iron Wall's perfectly fine. And this is interesting. We have the quick attack, so you basically get instant energy. So this Shakir is going to get instant energy, which is going to be kind of nutty. So I'm trying to think about the best comp that we could use to run this one in. So maybe we use Marilee, we use Corin, Smokey and Mirky. We need a tank, really, don't we? Don't really have a tank, do we? But we could use Granny Darnie. Granny Darnie's okay in this situation. And then we go for maybe Super healing spell. Okay, right, let's just see how we go. I love this because there's just way more strategy involved to it, and you don't just field the same one good team the entire time. So for me, this I just saw loads of squishies. I thought great opportunity for Carolina slash yeah, this spell, this comp does really well into squishies. Really awesome. Now we're into the second one, so a little bit more strategy and planning involved. Running Iron Wall with a double tank spell. Odie kind of popping off in this regard. And my Valor is now online and has got rid of some of the major DPS problems. Oh, that Reese hit really hard. Okay, so now it's Valor versus Arden, and I think we just about won. How we just snuck by. You only need to win 2 out of the 3, but it does play the 3rd round just to see how it goes. So we have Granny Dani here. Okay, I got absolutely wrecked. This was not... I thought this would be the one that I'd lose, which is why I put my best 2 team comps first. But I love this mode because it tests your ability to read the room, and you have a load of diamond rewards. You get basically a diamond for every rank that you increase. So, yeah, really, really awesome. And you can also buy new glory badges. But essentially, you climb the ranks, and you gain diamonds for every rank that you go up. So that's pretty cool as well. So, love Supreme Arena. It's a really nice addition. And apart from that, that is everything that the new season has brought to us so far, apart from just getting through the storyline, which comes with like new cosmetics, new access to like new lore. You're going to see all the new heroes in action. And obviously we have Alsa available as well. So they're the major things. There has been some changes also to the Emporium. So you'll notice that there are some things that are now available. So you can also buy Supreme Arena, these title essences, which not many people use. I have no idea what I'm going to purchase with my guild coins, by the way. I might just go for stargazing tokens, but I'm not entirely sure what I actually want from the arena store. Dream tokens are the same. Friendship store hasn't brought anything else too crazy either. The guild store is mostly the same as well. And then we have the same stuff really in the recruitment store. The only other thing that is worth noting is that when it comes to Dream Realm, and when it comes to Supreme Arena, and when it comes to Guild Wars or Battle Drills, there is now 2 forms of ranking. There is your server ranking and then your district ranking. Your district is a combination, I think, of 4 other servers. As you can see, I am not ranking particularly well on the district side of things. It is a much harder ball game, but you have ranking rewards for your server and you have ranking rewards for your district. You get better rewards for your server. It is only a minor increase in rewards that you get from district, so it is worth knowing that there isn't even that much of an increase realistically from ranking like top 30% or top 200 to 500. Like, there is almost no increase. You get 1 extra Twilight Essence for 21 to 50 and 1 to 20. I'm in the 51 to 100 camp. I still get the same Dream Essence. I still get the same Temporal Essence. And I also get access to this cute little Dreamy Crown, which is nice. So just worth noting that there is 2 forms of rankings as well when it comes to district versus server. Hopefully, that's everything that you need to know about the new season, guys. It's really awesome. They've done a great job with it. And I want you guys to go out there and enjoy it. Have a good time. And I will see you soon. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already.